And as promised, this is the third week of our intensive. Like CSS beginners to advanced is done, JavaScript beginners to advanced is done, and this is ReactJS beginners to advanced. And I got a very good students in CSS beginners to advanced and JavaScript beginners to advanced. Again, around 7 8 people were there, and I told it on the last day because this is something which I decided. During JavaScript beginners to advanced only, so I want to tell it again that what I have decided is to give the people who had attended CSS beginners to advanced and JavaScript beginners to advanced a chance to do my main program, the boot camp, 1.5 month long web app development boot camp, and which is actually chargeable. It's charged around 10,000 rupees, and it's a weekend boot camp, and I'm going to give access to anyone uh, of them only. I'm sorry I have not tell it earlier, but I'm going to give access to those people, those around 10 11 people, around 15 people are there. I have sent them mail only. So if they attend this react.js complete beginners to advance, and after the last day, so this is on, sorry, for only those people, those 15 people, they know who they are. So if they attend this all day, and again there will be a participation certificate, and daily I'm going to take the attendance. And if they're going to attend this completely, and after that I'm going to give them an assignment. The 15th the boot camp is starting. It's a 1 week assignment, and they have to prepare a simple react.js project. I will give them assignment, and if they complete it, they are getting free access to my 10,000 rupees boot camp, 10,000 rupees boot camp. And it's a really intensive boot camp, and it's a fully job assistance boot camp, and it is my main thing in which we support. Everything is there, means it is, you can find it on my LinkedIn, more details about that. Or if you want, I can give, or it will be there in the description also what it is about. So sorry, but for telling it later on, but this is only for those 15 people who have either attended the CSS beginners to advanced or react this beginners to advanced. So after that, I am considering, see, every month I do this 3 weeks of intensive, okay, and 1 week of additional. So and this week it will be Angular. So all the people who are going to attend all these 4 weeks, they are going to attend from next time onwards. So every month I have this boot camps, okay, and in which I teach individuals from any background to become a web app developer. So from next time onwards, means the January, I will again start a contest, and it is for serious people, because see, there are a lot of serious people who don't have the money to pay for that. It is for them, and you are one of those people, and you, either you have some money crunch or you want to win this thing. So I will tell the way in which you can win. So there will be some point system will be there, that I was thinking about some point system. Like if you follow me here, and the point system will be there, the main point system will be there after every intensive, like CSS beginners to advanced, JavaScript beginners to advanced, React.js beginners to advanced, and next time I think I will do Node.js beginners to advanced. So after every internship, you have to submit the assignment. So for, means there will be different points, okay, based on the different things. So maybe getting a participant certificate will give you 50 points. Completing the assignment will give you 100 point after that. So those things will be there, okay. And again, the top five people, I will take them in the February boot camp. So February I might have a weekday boot camp, okay, so I will take them in that. So that is a promise. But this thing is for the people who have got the CSS and JavaScript beginners to advanced. But one thing is there, everybody can get a participation certificate, cool participation certificate from me, if they attend all these 5 days, and after they fill that attendance, and they will get a certificate and a cool shout out from me. And react.js is the top skill in today's world. It is literally a top skill. You can get job of, and job means the freshers jobs only starts, the intern jobs only starts with 25,000. So you can know how these skills are there. So react is the top skills today, top skills for anyone, okay. So let's get started. Again, in 5 days I will try to complete everything. So let me also tell this attendance will be taken at the end. Okay, one more thing I want to tell, whoever is attending this from LinkedIn or some other platform or Facebook, please do come to my YouTube channel and attend it there, because the chat which I'm sending, it is not going to LinkedIn and your Facebook and all. So I don't know why it is not going. It is only going to Twitch and YouTube. So please do attend from here, and so that you can give the attendance from, because I'm going to give the attendance from here only. And the 5 days attendance will lead you to a participation certificate from DWD, and it will really enhance your career, because React is the top skill today, tomorrow, and for the next 5 years, 5 to 10 years. Okay, thank you. So let's get started with our React journey. Yes, guys, let's okay. Wait. Nowadays something is happening. Okay, so now let's start. What is React.js? So React.js is a JavaScript library and not a framework like Angular. Okay, so React.js is a JavaScript library. Angular is actually more powerful than React, and it has got all the features inbuilt into it. But React doesn't have all the features. So it is a small JavaScript library, but it is ruling the world. It's way ahead of Angular in the thing, because and it is much more easier to learn than Angular. Although it has become a bit, the syllabus has become a bit more. Why? Because nowadays React is divided into two types. It is a class based component and a hook based component, and I'm going to teach both of them. I'm going to teach both of them because the hook based component is the way to go, but still the class based component is been used in most of the projects. You go to any company, you are going to use class based React only. If you're going to do a scratch development today, you're going to use hooks. But you should know both, and class based is very important. Then what will happen? You are going to be means what's the benefit of class based, what's the benefit of hook based. So those things you are know. Okay, so those things are there. And one more thing is there, what I will do now is, okay, so what I'm going to do is I want to go to create a start creating a project in React.js. Actually, it takes around 5 to 10 minutes to create a project in React.js. So that's why till I go through the slides, I'll create a React.js project. And for that, you need to have Node.js installed on your machine. Okay, just the Node.js should be installed on your machine, nothing else. Node manager. And from React onwards, you need to be good in command line. So at least this much good, at least you should run the command. I'm using a git bash in Windows, so at least you should have Node. Anything means Node, you install the latest, and npm also you should need. I'm good, Mohammed. So all these things you should have, and then after that is very easy. So npm version also you should have a bit more. So I will do npx. Nowadays you don't even have to install React globally. So npx create React app and my app, or my app, I'll give anything I can give. So it takes some 5 to 10 minutes. So that's why I'm creating it, and then we'll go through the slide. Okay, npx create React app, my app, any app name you can give. And I have started. Okay, so let it start. Then okay, so it has got started. So let me do it. Okay, so as it is used to build interface and focuses on UI. It has a very rich ecosystem. You can add functionality with the help of thousands of available npm packages. Okay, so that is the main thing. Okay, so what is React.js? This is created and maintained by Facebook. So the top company in the world is maintaining it. So Facebook comes in equality with the Google actually. So it is created also by someone known as Dan Abramov, who is a Facebook employee, and also maintained by Facebook, a group of Facebook developers. But it is completely open source. Even you can apply to work on this project as an open source project. They will have some bugs or something, but the main thing, the features are always released by Facebook in the GitHub. So it's a totally free to use. You can download the React and make your own framework. You can see what is there inside, totally free. Every line of code is free on GitHub. So it has got, that's why it has got the most number of stars on GitHub also. And this is a huge community, means tons of article and Stack Overflow solution, which is very important in development. If you don't have a Stack Overflow solution, you are stuck, means, and React, you will have everything. And this is the most demanded skills to get a front end developer job. React Native, and as I told, it is way ahead of Angular. React Native, which is a mobile app development completely based on React.js. It hardly takes 2 3 days to learn React Native if you know React.js well. Okay, but some things are different. So component based architecture. So suppose there is big application. So we are going to divide it into 3 parts. Suppose there is a player application. I'm going to divide it into maybe a search bar. Then I'm going to divide it into a YouTube player. Then I'm going to divide it into the series. So this is something which I'm going to do. There's a virtual DOM in React because React uses lightweight representation of a real DOM known as virtual DOM. That's why the code is totally different from the Java code which we are going to which we have used till now. Document.query select, all those things are not there because we are not directly accessing the real DOM through virtual DOM, and it's very powerful. So the logic is totally different. So you don't get access to that real DOM that easily, and real DOM operations are very costly. So that is there. And then the prerequisite. So prerequisite are HTML, CSS, and JavaScript fundamental and ES6, which we have all learned till now. Everything which I have taught till now was the preparation for React.js, and that is how you should do. You should always aim to be a web app developer. I have told that in my one of my WhatsApp group. Your aim should not be to be a website developer or a web developer. Your aim should always be to be a web app developer. There is a huge difference between both of them. Okay, so HTML, CSS, and JavaScript fundamental and ES6 is required. And JavaScript disk keyword, map, reduce filters are used. ES6 let, const, arrow function, template literal, default parameter, object literal, rest and spread operator, destructure. Everything will be used here. Okay, so everything will be used. Okay, so I have done this create reactor. Okay, so it is done. So let's get started. So once it is done successfully, you'll get this. We suggest that you begin typing this npm start and happy hacking. So I'll do this. Okay. cd my app, but I'm not going to follow them completely what the React people are saying. I was open it with VS Code because VS Code is there in my path. So learn how to do this code dot, how to install VS Code in your path. Okay, so I have done VS Code in my path. Okay, so this path is done, and then I'm going to do npm start npm start. So npm start is the thing which really starts the React. Okay, so let us get started. So it will take some time. Okay, so meanwhile we'll go through the structure of a React.js program. Okay, so and it got started. Open it here only. So this is the famous React logo which we see when we start a React.js project, and how it came. So let us start. What is the logic beneath React.js? This is a very important thing which you should know. So this is the all the structure which we get when we install a React.js project. A very heavy node modules we get. This is a package.json which is there. So package.json, it will say that React version 17 is there. It is very important because from version 16.8 we have the concept of React.js hooks. We'll look into that soon. So all these things are there. So by default, not many things are installed. Only this React.js and React.js DOM is installed. So then the README is there. It is okay. Git ignore is very important file because in git ignore we tell that don't do the node modules. So this when we will push this to a GitHub repo, this node module should not go. This node module is very heavy. Your 2 GB of GitHub repo will be exhausted if you push this node modules. Okay, so that is there. Then how a React.js project starts, that is a very important question. How the React.js project starts, because at the end of the day a browser understands only HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So React.js is doing something under the hood. So what it is doing, so let us understand that. So this is the source. Okay, the source is there, and the public folder is there, and then the index.html is there. Okay, so index.html is here. So this is the file index.html. It has got something known as okay, see, this React app title is also coming from here. Title is also coming from here. Okay, if I change this React demo, and there is something known as hot reloading is React. Okay, so the moment I change it, so it will change to React demo. Okay, so that is there. Let me make it a bit smaller. So that will come. Okay, we have it in the same only. Okay, so React demo, that will be changed. Okay, so Now that is not the main thing. The main thing is this div with id of root. So div with id of root, why this is the important, and see, this is in the body part. Div with id of root is in the body part, but in the body we are seeing all these things. How we are seeing all these things? So there is a way in which React works. So React starts with something known as the index.js file. So in the SASE, there is something known as index.js file. So from here, React starts actually. Here we have something known as the Reactrender Dom, which they have written Reactrender Dom. So it means something like this: render the app components. Everything is component, which I've told earlier. Render the app component inside the root. So see, this is something like a JavaScript thing. Document dot get element by id, it's a sort of JavaScript thing. Document dot get element by id root. So it is getting the element by id root. Id root is, it is getting root, and it is inserting the app. So this is in this id of root, the whole React application is been inserted. So this is how it works. Okay, id of root. So id of root, and what happens, it is telling that in the id of root insert the app component. And what is the app component? We'll open the app component now. So app component is the thing which has been shown here, which has been shown, this all these things has been shown here. App component, and we used a weird type of syntax in React known as JSX. See, this is a JavaScript file, but you will find here a lot of HTML. This is known as JSX, JavaScript XML. So XML. So it is sort of an XML. So this is how it works. So React. So all this logo, image logo, and all those things are shown like this. Okay. So let me. So this is all about React, how it works, and all those things. So sometimes it is a very important interview question also. So that is there. So now we are going to start with React. So what I'm going to start, we are going to learn. Okay, we are going to learn that as we learn that there is a component based architecture. Okay, it is there. So React, there are actually two type of components. One is a stateless functional component, but this has gone through a major changes in 16.8. Earlier it used to be stateless functional component. There is a very important concept in React known as state, which is not there, which was not there earlier, but it has changed in 16.8. And we are going to learn about those changes later on, because the first thing which we are going to learn is to learn about class based component. Okay, so the second thing is the stateful class based component. This is the thing which you're going to learn much, and they are nothing but ES6 classes which extends from React component, and it is very important to have a render method here. Okay, so I'm not going to tell much about it because a lot of things are changed here. Changed in the sense, the functional component has gone through a lot of changes, and they now have something known as hooks. And they have got two important features of class based component, which is state and which is lifecycle component. So first we are going to learn mainly the state class based component, then we are going to come here. Okay, so that's all about it. So let us learn about them. Okay, so what is a functional component? See this, let me close these things, we don't need it. See this thing, this is actually a functional component, and it is nothing but the JavaScript function. As you can see, it's a JavaScript function, like how we did it, but we can do your arrow functions also. So this is all it is showing. And now let us do one thing. Okay, let us remove all these things, because we are going to create a lot of things on our own only. So let me remove all these things. Okay, and as I have told that React is a component based system, so what we are going to do, we are going to create a here a components folder. So this is how we do it. Components folder we are going to do, and here we are going to do something known as greet.js. And here we use something, some extension known as your yeah, this one is a very good extension through which we can give shortcuts. So ds anger, we can give shortcuts in this. Okay, shortcuts in React we are going to use, because as we have got shortcuts, we can give these shortcuts also. So we'll do this, and it is like first RAFCE, and you have to give the tab. It will give the component. So what is this? So this is known as the arrow function based function component, and I generally prefer this because arrow functions are mostly superior in JavaScript than a JavaScript based function. So this is there, greet, and here we have like H1. So this is a JSX thing which you are going to learn a bit later on. So this is like this, and I'll do a hello world. But we are going to not use this export default. There is another way to export it. So let me do this. Export const greet. I'm going to do save it. Okay. So now we have done it. Now how to use it in app.js? Okay, how to use it in app.js? So here you have to import it actually. App.js is your starting point of everything. So greet, I'm going to do greet and see how it is importing it. It is using this curly bracket to import it. So this is also known as named import, because I have done the export here. So it is importing it like this. So greet I'll do, and if I go back here, hello world is been shown. This is how most of the function based component works. So this is like that, but we generally don't use this type of export. This is known as named export. We use something known as default export. So let me do that, and it is very, we are going back to that. So this is known as default export. If I do this, so first I will get an error, because when we do a default export, and we are going to use mostly default export on some of the cases in some reduce action creators and all, which we are going to learn maybe later on. Action, or you can see my Redux series, because I'm not going to do the Redux is something which is above this, and we're not going to learn that Redux. I've done a Redux series previous month. As I've told, the fourth week is always something different every time. Okay, the fourth week was the Redux week previous time, so you can look into that series. Okay, so Redux is a state management service, very important in React, and it is a big topic. So it took me 1 week. Okay, so this after this, so here when you do the default, we don't do it like this. We have to actually, let me remove it altogether, and let me, so see, it is like this. Import like grid from component grid like this, and again the hello world will be there. Okay, it's okay, hello world is there. So now as I told, we are going to first learn mainly about the class based component. Okay, so let us learn about the class based component, and here I'm going to create a class based component like welcome.js, and rcc, the shortcut is rcc. But again, we don't do the we can do export default like this, but we generally don't do it like this. We do export default welcome, save it, pp, welcome to the world of React, save it. Now again it will not be shown. Again we have to import it. So this is how React works in bigger projects also. We have a lot of components, and different developers works on different components. That's the beauty of React and Angular projects. That's why around 50-50 front-end developers work in one project. This is the way they works on different components. Someone will be working on the header, someone will be working on the body, and a lot of things are there. So this is how big React projects are made. Welcome is there like this, save it. Welcome to the world of, it is hot reloading, instantly it comes. Okay, so this is done, and then okay, so now it's time for some JSX. So this is JSX, this is all JSX. So as I've told, JSX stand for JavaScript XML, and here what is happening, we are having this is a JS file, and we are having HTML. So this is like that, and there are some differences in that, and we are going to understand those things. Okay, let me show if I have the slide open. Okay, I'm good. Okay, I have the slide open. Where is the slide? Okay, this is done. Maybe, yeah. Okay, so like XML and all, this is the JavaScript XML. Okay, nothing much. So there is only some differences. So instead of the class, see, in HTML we have classes, means for CSS we have classes. We use the class name. Why we use the class name? Because if you come here, already we have a class, because it's a JavaScript file. We already have a class, and which extends from component, which is a React thing. So it extends from there. Okay, so already we have a class. So that's why if I have a class here, it is a conflict. So we don't use class here. We use something known as class name here. Okay, so that is like the class name. It is for CSS purpose. Okay, so that is there. And the other thing is that there is for, instead of for we will use HTML for, again for we can have for loop in JavaScript. But this for is for that label. For we have a label for, and input will be the same ID. So this is what and property naming convention of camel case. On click is on click, C is capital, tab index is tab index. So like this it is there. So that is there. Now understand second most important topic in React, which is known as props. So what are props? Props are nothing but a way to pass data from the parent component to the children component, nothing else. And props we cannot change, and all those things are there, because anyways we are passing a data from the parent to the children, or the vice versa is also there, but we'll learn about that later on. It's a bit a complicated topic. Okay, so let us do that. Okay, so pass some data from the parent to the children. So first we'll see pass in this functional component, how to do that. So if you come here and let me do one thing, let me, this is how comment, this is how, yeah, this is how comment works in React. I have selected on, and then control backslash have done, but the comment is always inside the JSX. It is like this is a weird kind of syntax, but this is how the comments also works in React. So grid is there, and then I'll do a name equal to JavaScript, name equal to JavaScript, I'll do. Okay, Golang. So see, this name is there. It is not a keyword. You can take anything. So these are the props name. Name equal to JavaScript, name equal to Golang, and name equal to Shift I have given. Okay. So now in this grid component, I will get access to these props. But how to get access to these props? So in this grid component, this is the functional component. I will get props here. Props here. And let me do a console log also here. What is this props? CLG props is there. And let's first see what is this props. Then I will do the, I will use it. Okay, so let me come here, and where am I? Okay, here am I. So hello world is been shown 3 times because we are showing it 3 times. And inspect I'll do, console I'll go, and this is the props. So props is an object in which the name is shift. Okay, so it's an object. So how to that props, how to get that object? So I'll do hello. So this curly brackets are there. See, these curly brackets are there. This is how we interpret a variable or something like that. So variable and something are like used to like that. Props.name will give me the exact name. So if I save it, and if I come back again, the it is showing up perfectly a bit. I don't know why it is showing object, but this is the props.name is JavaScript Golang and Shift. Okay, so let me do it and see. The main thing is that, see, this is now been shown JavaScript, Golang, and Shift. So this is how we pass data in React. Just hope it is clear. So this is very important concept, props concept. Props and states are the most important concept in React. So like props, we have something known as children also. They are also like props, but they are in a different way. So what are children? So they're also like a props. Here, most of the React React components, you will see that they're self-closing like this. Most of the time, it is self-closing. And children, we not use that much, but I've seen a lot of places it is used. So instead of self-closing, I'll make it like this. Read, and here I'll make it like this. Great. Now, anything which I pass inside it is the children language of the web, language for iOS apps. Okay, so these two are there. Okay, so but I have not used it yet. But see, if I go here, see this thing. Okay, 1 second, let me refresh it. See, now in the object there is something known as children. So children we have not given it. Anything which you pass inside it, it comes with the children. So now we can use it easily, like maybe the h1 will, and do it like this, and p I will do it like this, and here props dot children I'll do. Props of children I'll do. Okay, props of children I'll do. Now see what is happening. Props of children I'm doing. It is giving me some error. Adjacent JSX element must be wrapped in enclosing clause. Enclosing tag. Did you want a JSX fragment? Okay, so this is giving this, because what happens in React whenever this return is the main thing which has been shown on the screen. Okay, so that's why it is one of the reason also this is very powerful in JavaScript, pure JavaScript. If you want to show something on the screen, it is very difficult. Create element and all those things, a lot of stuffs are there. Okay, so those things are there. So okay, so they're telling that you have to wrap it in a, say, in a fragment. A fragment is something like a div, but it doesn't mean anything. You can wrap it in a div also, and it is perfect. The main thing is that it should start and end with the same thing. So like this is a React only tag which is there, and if I have to wrap it with this, and now the error has also gone from here. So just like this, you have to wrap it, and now I save it, and it will be coming perfectly. But and that, see, and see this thing, it is showing in the p props dot children. It is showing. So this is how it is there. So now the same thing we are going to see in this welcome. Okay, so welcome also. Let me do this. Let me do a HR between them. The horizontal rule also, it is like it will be done like this, and then again we are going to do the same thing. Name equal to flutter, um, and we'll keep like this: flutter, react native, java, and here I will take language for cross platform mobile dev. Okay, and here see, instead of passing this, I can pass another component, or I can pass a button also here. So I'll do a button click for java, save it, and now I have to use it. So instead of wasting the time, let me directly use it here again. Let us have two things here. Again I will have a fragment. Okay, first I'll have a fragment, and not like this, a fragment like this, and h1 will be there, and welcome, and p will be there. But the thing is that here, like this here, functional component, I have some parameter I can pass, but here I cannot pass any parameter or something. It's a class based component. And one thing I think I forgot, this render method is required in the class based component. Okay, so that is there. The render method wraps the return, so that is there. But we don't have access to props there. How do we have access to props? So here we have access to props in a different way. Here we have access to props with this. There is a this keyword is there. This keyword is very important. This dot props dot name. This keyword is very important. This dot props dot name. I have access to this like this. So this dot props is required. Okay, so now similar to this, I have this dot props dot children. This dot props dot children is also there. Save it, and with this keyword I have access. So if I go back, see, this all will be shown. This horizontal rule I have put so that I can see this. So this is how it works with this dot props. Okay, so this is the props thing, which is lot of important thing here in React. So next thing which we are going to learn is the state concept. So state concept is the most important concept in React, and this is why React is so powerful. React is powerful only because of the state concept. So let us learn about that. And as I've told, we are going to learn first the state concept from a class based component. I think for the next 2 days also we are going to do the class based thing. Class based thing is very huge actually, and in my full bootcamp also, see, this class based things actually sometimes takes around 4 5 days only, this class based thing. Okay, so this is also full, but I have to go in a bit faster pace because we have only 1 hour every day. So a bit faster pace is there, but I am trying to teach all of those things. But we have time limitations also, and so that is there. So class based component is there. Okay, let me do one more thing. Okay, let me give the part, the attendance sheet, which is very important. So all of you please fill it, because this time I won't take it that I was not available, or all 5 days you have to be available. Okay, and then you have to complete the assignment also. This is for the people who have done CSS or JavaScript beginners to advanced bootcamp. Okay, or workshop. Okay, please fill the, or everybody else can also do it. That is not like that you cannot do it. You'll get a cool participation certificate also. Please fill the attendance sheet. So this is the attendance sheet. It is only going to the Google, to YouTube and Twitch. So if you are doing it on LinkedIn, please come to my YouTube channel, and it is going on live there also, and fill the attendance form here. So please come to my YouTube channel. Okay, so that is like that. So what we are going to learn, we are we are going to learn state here. Okay, so enough of welcome and read. So let us make something new. We'll make something known as a counter.js. Counter.js is there. Okay, again it will be a class-based component, so RCC will be there. Let me take it down. Export default counter. It is there, and then when we are going to do the state based component, the state is always defined in a constructor. So we need to have a constructor, and constructor is again something a class based component. As we all know, constructor is a class based component. So our const, this is again a shortcut. Okay, see 2 3 things here which I want to say. Count is 0. So we are designing a counter which we can increase the count, and we need to understand some of the logics here. First thing is a constructor in a class, in normal JavaScript class or any other classes. It will only run for the first time. So it is only run for the first time when the component is been mounted. So it will run for the first time. Super props we have to take because we are extending it from React. The super props are taking for that. And then this is the main thing. This is not a state. So this is how we declare a state. This is known as a state variable. With this keyword I am doing it, because if with this keyword I will be able to access it everywhere. And then I am making the count as 0, a variable count as 0. This is a state variable, so that count I am making it as 0. And after that, if inside here I want to show this thing, okay, I'll do count is this dot state dot count. I'll do, and I'll I'll save it. I'll save it, and then I have to show it. Okay, so let me show it first. So for this, I'll comment this all out. This is how we comment it out. This is like this, and then counter I'll do, and again it will be imported. So by default, if it's not imported, you have to import it like this. So counter is done, and save it. Now if I go back, see, count is showing as 0. Count is showing as 0. It is better to give it an h1. H1 count is showing as 0. Okay, count is a 0. And this is how we access the, because this is an object. See, this dot state is an object. This dot state dot count is a value. This is how we access the object. Okay, that is there. Okay, so now the next thing which I am going to have is how to increment this count value. So how to increment that count value. So this is very important to learn. And is there, and we have to use a fragment because I'm going to have a button also here. So to increment a count, definitely we are going to have a button. So I'm going to have a button here, and here it will be increment, and on click equal to this dot. So this keyword is been used a lot in class based company. Okay, this dot increment count, this dot increment count is there. Okay, this dot increment count is there. So this increment count is a function which will increment this state count. Okay, so I'll come here, increment count, like this dot set state. This is something weird known as this dot set state, which will have a count is equal to this dot state dot count plus 1. So this is again a weird kind of thing. Why I'm having this? So on click, this increment count will fire, and there is a thing in React. See, you can only update the state with this function known as this dot set state. Without it, you cannot update it. And what I want to do, I want to update the count variable. I want to update the count variable. Count is this dot state dot count plus 1. I Whenever I'm clicking the button, the count should be updated, and it should work. So let me come back here, and increment button is there, and let me click it. But I'm clicking it, nothing is happening. Let me click it. Okay, so nothing is happening because there is a problem here. The problem here is that although I am not even getting a error. Okay, okay, I'm getting an error here. Something changed in React. So earlier we used to get an error here also. So I'm getting an error, cannot read property undefined, reading set state, property of undefined. Okay, property of undefined. The problem is that actually this keyword is not valid here. Okay, and so there is a lot of problem with this keyword in React. So this keyword always belong to the function in which it is called. So this is not even understanding what is this keyword. Actually the problem is with that. We'll understand a bit more about it in later on. So this keyword is not defined here. So how we will do this? So there are 4 ways to do this. I think that we will do in the next class, because this is a lot of things next that we will do in the next class. Okay, so this is not defined. So we have 2 to 3 ways. One of the way is there is a bind method in React, in JavaScript, not in React. In JavaScript we have bind, and this issue is also because of JavaScript. So we have this dot increment count equal to this dot increment count dot bind this. So we are binding this keyword. The bind method is the binding this keyword. Now I will save it. Now I will refresh it, and it will work as it is. Just work at it as it is. Okay, so this is how it will work. So this is how the set state works. It will increase the state. Okay, and this is very important. Okay, so the thing is that you might be thinking, okay, why cannot I increase the state directly? Why I am using this set state? So that is a question which a lot of people have. Why cannot I do this directly? So let us do that directly, and for that I will comment this out, and I'll do this dot state dot count equal to this dot state dot count plus 1. This dot state dot count is equal to this dot state dot count plus 1. And let me also do console log of this dot state dot count. So I might be thinking, okay, I will increment this count and the count will get increased. Okay, and so let me just come back here, and let me remove it. Okay, so I'll click the increment button. See this, count is 1, it is still 0. Count is 2, still 0. Count is 3, still 0. So it will be 0. So why? This is a thing how React works. See, React, this render matter is very important. So when the render matter runs, it actually repaint the DOM, or it will re-render the thing. In React DOM, it will re-render the component. It will re-render the component, but it doesn't does re-render the component like this. There is a property in set state. This dot set state. The property is that if we if we use set state to increase the state, it will re-render it also. So if I do this dot set state and do this, what is happened, it is increasing the state. It was increasing the state here also, but it increases the state count and it will run this part again. And when this part is run, this dot state dot count will also be run. Okay, so that's why it will be run. Okay, so it was not running in that case. So let us do this thing. Now I have uncommented this out, and as I told, this will never work. So let me comment this out. Okay, and let me bring it down here, because I want to show one more topic here. Okay, so I will come here, let me do it, and I will increase it 1, but see, it is still 0, 2, 3, 4. It is updating it correctly, but this dot set state, this thing, it is showing as 1 back. So because React is very fast, when this dot set state has been done, what is happening here, this dot set state has been done. Okay, so it instantly comes here, and after that, in the next iteration only, this the console.log is running. So it is very fast. It will render it, then it will do the console log. So it will take the old state only. And sometimes in React, what happens, we want to run something instantly after this dot set state is done in bigger project. We don't want to wait for the we want it to run before it goes to render. So what we can do, we can pass a second variable here in the, like this. Okay, let me do one thing, let me take it and bring it like this. This is the pattern in which you'll see a lot. Okay, so I will run a function here, arrow function, and I can do like this, and see, and save it, and back, click 1 1 2 3 4 5. So it is increasing as it is increasing. So this is how it has been done. Okay, so we have come to an end of this, and the other topic is now on the thing. So the other topics, I'm going to stop it here, because we have to do a bigger topic. So I will stop it here, and we are going to continue tomorrow. And this is enough for one day, because I have been very bit fast. You should have to repeat this, but yeah, this is, as I have told, we have to go a bit faster to do this, because we have to learn hook based also. So we have to learn hook based also. So hope you learned a lot, and go through this again and again, and you will be able to learn React in a better way. So I am teaching the main concept. I'm going a bit fast as a T20. So generally in my uh, boot camp, I go a bit slow, maybe in the pace of a one day. So I go a bit slower there. So that is like this. Okay. So I will see you all tomorrow again. Please do attend. Aditya, I want you to get to that my boot camp. You are really very good. You are doing it. And Aditya, Mohammed, Abdul, all of you should win my boot camp. Okay. So with this, I will end today's stream. Thank you all for attending.